look like I got it all together. Lying to myself like I'm down for whatever. Time to put up walls cause I'm catching feelings. Afraid to get hurt, what I need is some healing. Where are you? Are you hiding? How dare you? I barely surviving. I'm amid and I've been playing games. Tired of the same old same, but I need you now. Where have you been? I'm just looking for love. Looking for love. I'm looking for love.
Chapter 4. Hadassah's mind was spinning all over the place as she walked into her gorgeous loft located on the top floor. She resided in a historical building from the 18th century that had been beautifully renovated. From her gigantic windows, Hadassah had a picturesque view of the city of Atlanta. This community was a hotspot for many young professionals in the heart of Atlanta. Daddy and Mama surprised her by gifting her with home ownership, the date of graduation from Georgia State University. Hadassah recalled opening a small wrapped box. Inside were 2 keys and a picture of an unfurnished loft. Hadassah's parents spared no expenses. They hired an interior designer and purchased all the furniture Hadassah desired. Hadassah felt sad, betrayed, confused, and empty deep inside. It truly bothered Hadassah that she was experiencing these intense emotions. She had a wonderful life and was usually the source of envy everywhere. Hadassah knew she was extremely lucky to have the family, wealth, influence, popularity, and beauty that people would kill to obtain. Yet she felt like a veil was beginning to be lifted from her eyes. Hadassah was puzzled about what was happening inside of her. A picture of Grandmother Sage flashed through her mind. She was extremely close to Grandmother during her youth. Hadassah vaguely remembered a huge argument that took place between Grandmother and Mama. Afterwards, Grandmother disappeared from their life for years. Whenever Hadassah or her sibling mentioned Grandmother, Mama quickly changed the subject or forbid them to speak about Grandmother. It was not until recently Hadassah rekindled her relationship with Grandmother. She kept it a secret from her family and best friend. Hadassah enjoyed visiting and spending time with Grandmother immensely. When she was visiting Grandmother, none of the cares in the world mattered. Hadassah always felt a genuine and unconditional love from Daddy and Mama. However, Grandmother's love had transformed over the years into something she could not explain. Hadassah felt that she could pour out her heart to Grandmother, and she would never judge her. In addition, there was an unexplainable peace and a powerful source of energy that radiated from within her.
I need to visit Grandmother soon,
Hadassah thought. The phone began ringing loudly, interrupting her turbulent thoughts. Hadassah forced herself to return to the present. The customized ringtone indicated that it was Mama. Hadassah had absolutely no desire to talk to anyone tonight, especially Mama. She was shocked and angry from their conversation earlier at Southern Belle's sweet tea and cupcakes. Mama tried to convince Hadassah that the love between Daddy and her was genuine. Hadassah did not know if she believed Mama. Although Mama did not lie to her before, it cut her deeply like a knife, knowing the truth about her parents' marriage. Hadassah felt as if she had been duped. Since childhood, she imagined and fantasized having a love and fairy tale marriage like Daddy and Mama. Hadassah decided to ignore Mama's call. She walked into her large kitchen. It was beautiful and feminine. All the appliances were stainless steel, completed with an elegant island and a beautiful farmhouse sink. She grabbed her polka dot tea kettle and began preparing an herbal tea. Hadassah desperately hoped this tea would help calm her troubling mind. The smell was a heavenly aroma, a blend of spearmint and chamomile. In the past, when Hadassah was a senior in college, after long days of studying for exams, it brought forth comfort and helped her nerves. Hadassah sat down on her luxurious and elegant beige sofa. Hadassah began flipping through channels on TV as she slowly sipped tea. Her mind continued to run in circles. Hadassah had dozed off watching The Cosby Show reruns. Suddenly, she woke up during an episode when Sandra was going into labor with the twins. She grabbed her phone off the charger and was shocked. It was near midnight. She had developed a headache and was still in a foul mood. Hadassah decided to take a long shower. The hot and steamy shower helped reduce the intensity of her headache. Hadassah quickly put on a nightgown and brushed her teeth. She sighed with relief as she stepped onto a stool, climbing into her luxurious king-size bed. The bed was extremely comfortable and soft. It felt like she was lying on top of cumulus clouds. Hadassah prayed that sleep would come quickly. As Hadassah dozed off, she felt an eerie presence enter the bedroom. However, her eyelids were too heavy. She fell into a deep slumber and began having vivid dreams. In the first dream, a big giant that appeared to be half human chased her through a forest. She found refuge in a dark cave. The malevolent being growled and declared, "You can't run from me. You belong to me. Your grandmother served my master and dedicated all of her future bloodline before you were conceived."
Get away from me!
Hadassah shouted. Hadassah continued to toss and turn as she dreamed vividly. The dream switched to another scene. Troy was visiting her loft. That was the first time they had seen each other since the heavy exchange on the balcony during Hadassah's father's celebration. Hadassah invited Troy into the living room. They began to have an honest conversation. Immediately, it became extremely intense. They both were yelling and shouting at one another. Hadassah began crying heavily in the dream. Suddenly, Troy began apologizing. It was apparent that things went too far, and that was not Troy's intentions with visiting Hadassah that evening. Hadassah sat on the couch with her face buried in her hands. Troy walked up to Hadassah, gently grabbed her hands, and looked deeply into her eyes. He began to express how much he desired to spend his life with Hadassah. Suddenly, he paused and kneeled on one knee and pulled a ring out of his left pocket. "Hadassah, will you marry me?" She was extremely surprised. She began crying.
Yes, Troy. Yes.
Troy put a gorgeous ring on her finger. Afterwards, he leaned over and kissed away Hadassah's tears. Afterwards, the dream switched to a new scene. Hadassah was lying down on her bed and talking on the phone to Brady. He declared his love and desire to marry Hadassah. During that dream, Hadassah's thoughts were in serious turmoil. She thought about Troy's proposal the night before and how she gladly consented to become his wife. However, Hadassah realized she still had feelings for Brady also. As she laid down, lost in deep thoughts, a strong wind blew. It caused the bedroom door to fly open. The atmosphere became extremely eerie and malevolent. Hadassah felt goosebumps appear on her right arm. A dark, large, shadowy figure that resembled the being from her dream entered Hadassah's room. She tried to scream. However, no sound came from her mouth. Suddenly, Hadassah felt paralyzed. She couldn't move her body. The dark figure floated to Hadassah's bed. It was apparently not human. With the strength of a giant, it ripped her clothing off and laid on top of Hadassah. Hadassah woke up, breathing rapidly and trembling from fear.
It was just a dream. It felt so real.
Hadassah noticed that her sheets and covers were wrinkled. Hadassah gasped in horror as she saw a dark shadow disappear through the wall. It was the same being from her dream. She looked down and noticed that her nightgown and underwear had been torn. Hadassah let out a blood-curdling scream. Hadassah jumped quickly out of bed, turned on the lights, and stammered into the kitchen. She opened the cabinet where she kept the stash of liquor. Hadassah was trembling so bad with fear, she had to concentrate to steady her hands. She reached for a bottle of vodka and began drinking quickly. It burnt her throat, causing Hadassah to cough and choke. She hoped it would help her to feel numb and calm the troubling thoughts.
What? What happened to me?
Hadassah had never experienced anything this intense spiritually that she could recall. Hadassah did not participate heavily in occult practices. She faithfully did her daily affirmations and focused on manifesting. However, Hadassah had only dabbled into doing a few spells and rituals, burned sage, used a Ouija board, and participated in aerial projection only a handful of times. Hadassah had never encountered being attacked by a spiritual being or felt that her life was endangered.
What in the world is going on?
What?
Brittany, what are we watching? What is going on?
I don't...
Brittany, girl, snap out of it.
Hadassah was dreaming.
Yeah?
But only... They weren't just dreams.
They were real. Like, real.
Well, not all of them were real.
But one of them was... Girl, talking about a pizza dream.
What's a pizza dream?
It's like when you eat something that doesn't do your mind good, and you sleep after eating it and have nightmares. What did she eat?
I think Hadassah just had a lot on her mind and some of it leaked into her dreams. However... That doesn't explain the same thing chasing her in her dream followed her into actual real life. And
messed with her and was able to touch her. Physically. This just got real.
Now we see why it's called Belly of Darkness.
Whew! Child, the next episode needs to drop right now.
Yeah, now we have to wait until next Sunday. What a bummer.
It was cool to see Troy's fine self again, though, even if it was only in a dream.
And she was dreaming about Brady, too. I wonder what he looks like.
Wait, who is Brady again?
He's the guy Hadassah was talking to Tay-Tay on the phone about in episode 1. The white guy in Alaska. She told Tay-Tay that she aborted his baby without him knowing.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Girl, this gets better every episode.
You are a truth teller if I've ever seen one.
Don't forget to like the video. It helps a lot.
And if you want to help even more, subscribe.
We hang out every week. Hit that bell so you'll be notified when we drop the next episode.
See you later!
I know that I look like I got it all together, lying to myself like I'm down for whatever. Time to put up walls cause I'm catching feelings, afraid to get hurt. What I need is some healing. Where are you?